Hello, all you wonderful notaries and signing agents. I'm DVO, Derek Van Alt, and I'm the host of the Peak Signing Agents podcast and YouTube channel where I'm helping you not just become a good notary, not to become a great notary, but to become a peak notary and signing agent, which means you're the best, because I know you are. And I come to you every week providing great tips that, as a seasoned signing agent and as a worldwide signing service owner, I want to help you get to the peak. On this episode, I'm talking about beginner successful tips that I think I did that helped me become successful in where I'm at today. These are things that I did, and if I were to start over brand new again, this is exactly what I would do. All over again. Let's get into it, shall we? All right, and I have my notes here so I don't forget to do anything. First thing here that I have in my notes is I was willing to invest in myself and in my business. I was willing to invest. I still know, that becoming a business owner, becoming an entrepreneur, working for yourself, there's usually some initial money to start. I was okay with that. I knew I wanted to invest in my business. Here's the things that I was willing to invest in right away. Obviously, it was getting set up with my state laws. So, submitting the forms, online applications, whatever it was I needed to do with my state to become a business owner, to be in business. The other thing, we're getting my supplies in order. One of the biggest expenses starting off in this business is getting a printer and scanner. I didn't do a scanner right away. A separate scanner, I should say. I did have a scanner. It was from my all-in-one that I had at home. But I bought a laser printer right away, a dual tray with letter and legal. I purchased that right away. That was the first thing I got once I got my state license. And obviously, you have to get your notary supplies first, right? If you're going to be a signing agent. My stamp, my journal, my bond, my E&O insurance. Obviously, I got those right away. But then the biggest expense for most of us is going to be your printer, getting your printer. I did have a scanner that was an all-in-one. That moved very slowly. It only took me a few months before I bought a actual just scanner. A standalone scanner, scans fast, worth the money. That's probably your second biggest expense is your scanner. So printer and then scanner separately. I bought business cards. I set up my email and social media. I mean, those don't cost much. An email could be very minimal or free as well. But I wanted to get set up right away. I knew investing in my business itself was key. So that's what I did. Investing in myself meant information and knowledge. So investing in my business was the supplies I needed. Investing in myself was the education I needed. So YouTube, podcast, I went to that right away to kind of learn a little bit. Watched tons of videos. And then I bought a course. I didn't buy the course as soon as I should have. So that's one thing I would have done sooner to invest in myself, was purchase a course like the loan signing system. That's the course I decided to choose after a time. Well worth it. Should have done it earlier. I did do the NNA right away. So I took the NNA course right away, got my background check through there, learned the essentials, learned technical stuff. But the loan signing system, LSS, that one gave me the to-dos, the how-tos of doing this business. So both hand in hand are very essential. And, excuse me, I did those both. I would have done them both sooner if I were to start over. I would have done both of those sooner. And if you're interested in learning more about the loan signing system, go to the description, the information in this podcast and YouTube channel, and there's my link there that you can go check out, my affiliate link. So those are the first things I would have done starting over that I think I did in the beginning that helped me and I would still do today, and that was invest in my business, getting all the essentials I needed. I would say 1,500 to 2,000 total, investing in my business with equipment, and then investing in myself in taking a training course. So that's starting off. I don't think that's too bad starting off in this business. My second tip here that I did as a beginner was once I received my equipment, once I got my printer and my scanner, I already had a computer, but if you don't, definitely get a computer. I practiced them first. I put paper in, I did a couple test printing, made sure that worked. I made sure my PDF reader was working. I was scanning, so that way when I got my first jobs, I wasn't struggling like, oh, wait, it's not printing, it's not scanning, what's going on? I did those first. I practiced my electronics first before I actually got the job. Once I got my printer in, excuse me, I practiced printing a few pages right away. Once my scanner came in, I practiced scanning with it first before I actually got the jobs. Does that make sense? That way they weren't waiting on me. I had to cancel. Like, okay, I'm sorry, I can't figure out my printer. No, I figured them out first, then I got the jobs. Another thing I did that I think helped me in the beginning was my first loan signings, my first few, when I printed out all the paperwork, I actually read through them all. I read through them because I practiced. I role played with myself. And I timed myself. So I put a timer on and I practiced what I would say on each page. And then I practiced as if I was the signer signing my signature, just so I could see real time how long this could take. And I worked on whittling that down. I read every document so I understood them, so I could give brief descriptions. So I knew investing in the time to read all the paperwork, and it took me hours. I mean, my first loan packet took me hours to read through the whole thing. But once I read through the whole thing, then I went out and I could start performing and doing it. My first signing took, over an hour. Then I got it down to like 45 minutes. Got it down to 40 minutes. Got it down to 30 minutes. Now my average signing is about 20 minutes. That's the average time it takes me to go through a whole signing. Sometimes they take me 45 still. Sometimes they take me 10 minutes. On average, I'd say 20 to 25 minutes. But I think it was worth that investing to read every document. I didn't want to just say sign here, or hey, just read it and sign when you're ready. I gave brief descriptions and I can get through the signings pretty quick. The other thing I did, I think that helped me in the beginning, was as soon as I finished, I gave them an update. I updated the signing service that hired me right away. We're all finished. I'll have scans to you in 30 minutes. I'll have scans to you in an hour. I'll have scans to you soon. Here's their IDs in the meantime. Like, this is what I did, because I always took pictures. I did this right away. Like, from the moment I was walking out of their house and then walking to my vehicle, I was doing the update in whatever platform I was hired on. Speaking of signing services, what I did was I took almost every job that came my way. I took almost every job. I was doing refinances with scans for $75, $80. I took them all. I wanted the experience. I wanted the money. I wanted to get through this because I knew some platforms, once you do a certain amount, you'd get more jobs. I wanted the reputation. I wanted to be marked preferred. I wanted other signing services to talk about me. So I was taking every job. I knew working for a signing service, I wasn't getting the whole fee. I wasn't being ridiculous. I didn't counter offer all the time, unless it was like a real far away drive. I mean, I would say, hey, sorry, I can't do this for $80. This is too far. I can do it for $95. So I would negotiate if it was reasonable. Then, once I got comfortable with the paperwork. I got comfortable with my equipment printing, going through it, scanning, dropping off. Once I got comfortable with my role, then I started marketing direct. I started talking to the signing service and building a relationship with them. Oh, hey Mary, thanks for calling me again. Always great working with you. Sure, I'll be happy to help. Yeah, hey, on this one, this was a little further out. What can you do for me? I can't really do it for that amount. What can we work with? And I started having a professional dialogue with the signing service, building their reputation, building a rapport with them. That yes, you know the work I do. Hey, can you give me a positive review? I do a lot of work with you and everything goes well. Hey, could you give me a positive review, please? And I just started building that friendship with the signing services, going direct with signing services, going direct with local title and mortgage companies here. Then I started doing that once I felt comfortable. I could bring the value. Then I started saying, oh, hey, you know what? I do really well. I know my worth now because I don't make mistakes. I communicate, I drop documents. Now I can go ask for the full fee. Now I'll go market direct. That's when I did that. And I did that pretty soon. I wasn't good at it, okay? I was marketing direct pretty soon. Within a few months, I was marketing direct, but I wasn't getting the business because I wasn't doing it right, because I didn't invest as quickly into a great course like, for example, loan signing system. Once I invested into a great course like that, that's when I got the confidence and know-how how to go market better. So I did do it early. I just wish I would have done it sooner. That's my tips there. One thing I also knew was I needed to drop documents right away. And I knew where every UPS and FedEx was in my area. I knew where every single one was, and I knew all their pickup times, their last pickup times. I just built that. I built relationships with FedEx and UPS workers. They knew me. I talked to them. I could call them and ask them questions. I could have them help me with something. I'm like, hey, it's Derek. Real quick, I got a shipping label coming your way. Can I give you the code? You can get it printed for me so when I get there, we can get this out in time because I'm cutting it close. Can you tell the driver to just wait? Can you kind of stall them for just a second? I'm 2 minutes away from your office. I know they're probably there. Can you just stall the driver for a couple minutes? I've had to do that a couple times. So that's some things that I did. I knew to drop them off right away. I knew where all my FedEx UPS locations were. I knew all their last pickup times. So that's one thing I did. The other thing I knew was I kind of started knowing the paperwork. These were the title documents. These were the mortgage documents. If we had questions, I knew who to tell the signer to call. Hey, okay, I know you don't understand this page. I don't really understand it either. This is a loan page. Let's call your lender and ask them about this. And I always try to put myself in the position of either the real estate agent, the loan officer, or the escrow officer. I wish I put myself in their shoes, in their position. What would they want? What would they like? What would they want their notary to do? What would they want their closer to do? What would they want their signer to do? I try to always put myself in their shoes, put myself in their position, and I think that helped me do great work for them. Because I knew what they wanted, or I thought I knew what they wanted or needed. And I knew who to communicate with. Oh, you know what? This is who we should call. This is who we should ask about. I put myself in their shoes. Because I always wanted it to be perfect. I always knew, hey, if you sign this way, it's got, they're not going to like it if you do this. You have to change it around. You can't, if you put the wrong date, you cannot just go over that wrong date 10 times with the correct date. You have to strike that, initial it, and then change it. I knew as a notary, they knew, okay, this came from a signing service in Texas. I'm in Utah. I cannot leave that Texas verbiage there. I knew they needed that changed. I'm going to make those changes. These are things that I did to help me. And if you're not doing these, excuse me, I'm so sorry. I have to clear my throat sometimes. It's It's one of the side effects from the chemotherapy that I went through last year. So I apologize. Sometimes it just kind of happens, and as I'm talking on this, I want to make sure I have a good voice. So I apologize. I have to clear my voice sometimes. Anyway, these are the tips that I did in the beginning, and I want you to be successful from the beginning. My first year as a signing agent, I would say that probably the first 2 to 4 months I was part-time, and then I quit my job to do this full-time because I noticed I was getting notifications at my job like, oh my goodness, I could probably take these jobs, but I'm here at work. And if I'm making this much money at my job, and I can make this much doing signings, if I can get at least close to that, it might be worth it. And I knew it was going to take a few days to get paid, right? Sometimes it takes 30 days to get paid for the job you did. So that's why it took me a few months. But then I quit my job, and I was taking every signing I could. I wanted the experience. I wanted the money. I wanted the reputation. And it worked for me. That's what I did. And I took everything that I could, everything that was reasonable. I mean, I didn't take any refinances with scans for $65. I didn't do those, as I really felt like that was too low, and I would actually be hurting the notary community by taking those, because that means signing services are going to keep offering that pay, and they're going to get notaries that take those that aren't the best, and it just doesn't help our notary community. So I still knew I might not get the job when I counter, but I need to say, hey, we're worth more than this. Our value is worth more than $65 on a refinance with scans that was 180 pages. But I was willing to do it for, $75, $80, especially if it wasn't too far. I was willing to do that. I was willing to go out there, and if I wanted the full fee, I knew how to go market and get my own clients for that. I wasn't against signing services making money. I was never against that when I was working in the very beginning. And doing it for $75, $80, $90, $100 in the beginning, my first year, I made $100,000. I quit after between 2 to 4 months. I quit my job and was doing this full time. And I've done this full time for 8 years now. These are the things that I did. It works for me. I've made millions of dollars now as a signing agent in 8 years. I've made millions of dollars. And I'm just providing tips for you so that you can be a great peak signing agent. You can bring home the money your family deserves. You can bring home the lifestyle your family deserves. I want that for you. So keep being awesome. Talk to you next episode. Bye.